What's up guys, Wakozy here, and today it is time to talk about patch 2.7 of Honkai Star Rail. The kind of update that hits you right in the feels and somehow manages to make you laugh with a perfectly timed shopping trip. It is emotional, it is mysterious, and dare I say, downright poetic. Today we are diving deep into the stories of two characters whose lives have been flipped upside down, Sunday and Tingyun, now reborn as Fugue. If you're ready for a tale of resurrection, redemption and enough lore to make Kafka look straightforward, then buckle up. Oh, and for those of you wondering, wait, didn't Tingyun die ages ago? Well, she did. And then our writer said, what if she didn't? Patch 2.7 kicks off with Sunday, a man who is now free, but far from free of guilt. Thanks to a shady deal between his sister Robin and a certain someone named Jade, Sunday gets released from prison. But here is the catch, he's still very much a wanted man. So when we first see him strolling through Penacony's golden hour, he is in disguise. Probably the worst disguise you will ever see in this game because Welt spots him right away. Classic. Now Welt isn't exactly thrilled to see Sunday out and about. Can you blame him? Last time they crossed paths, things were, let's say, tense. He was about to unleash a black hole on him, but was stopped by Pom Pom crashing the Astral Express into Sunday himself. But instead of outright confrontation, Sunday does something unexpected. He tells the truth. All of it. From the deal setting him free to why he is here now. Sunday lays it all on the table. And Welt, well, let's just say he's got enough empathy to give Sunday a supervised farewell tour before deciding what to do with him. Now this is where things get interesting, because as Sunday is saying his goodbyes, we get hit by something completely unexpected. Tingyun is back. She's here on Penacony and it is not a surprise cameo kind of way, but fully resurrected, breathing and different. I know what you're thinking, didn't she die? And the answer here is a little bit complicated. Yes and no. Her body was destroyed beyond recognition by Fantilia back during our Lofu storyline, but her soul never truly moved on to the afterlife. But more on that later on. Now here's the twist. Tingyun's story doesn't just pick up where we left it off, and in order to understand how she's back, we have to dig into the brilliance and sometimes borderline madness of one person. Ruin Mei. Let us start with what we know. After her death at the hands of Fantilia, Tingyun's body was beyond repair. But her soul, as mentioned before, this is where it gets complicated. Enter Ruin Mei, a scientist whose resume includes phrases like reviving emanators of propagation. She's basically the Honkai universe's version of Frankenstein, except her creations are less monsters and more miracles. The process began with reconstructing Tingyun's body, which was the easy part. The hard part? Her soul. You see, every time they brought her back, her soul would relive her death over and over again, shattering her psyche into different fragments. Each time she broke, and each time Ruin Mei tried again. Let us take a look at one of those in-game fights, which is going to explain this entire process in more detail. Though extremely rare, the observed subject has started to provide short answers for some simple questions, even though her cognition is still in a chaotic state. From what has been observed so far, she is not incapable of composing long and complex sentences. However, an unbearably intense pain would immediately attack her with high frequency, enough to interrupt her thoughts or even render her temporarily unconscious. We have temporarily blocked the subject's various senses and are trying as much as we can to alleviate their pain. No further questioning will be made until the body's repair has made some progress. Until then, this is a record of the questions that the observed subject has already answered. Number 1. What is your name? The subject replied within 3 seconds. Tingyun. Number 2. What did you encounter? The observed subject spent a substantial period of time in rumination before suffering from intense pain and losing their consciousness. After being questioned 4 times, it can be confirmed that the observed subject knows about the related details, but struggles to elucidate that knowledge during the limited periods of coherence. Eventually she had a breakthrough. Instead of forcing Tingyun's soul back into her body, she talked to it. In this state, Tingyun's soul had forgotten everything about her. Her past, her identity, even her death itself. She was a blank slate now, and Ruin-Mei guided her through the afterlife, helping her accept what had happened to her. And here is where it gets deep. Ruin-Mei didn't try to erase Tingyun's death. She told her to embrace it. The destruction that had claimed her, it is now a part of her. Something she shouldn't fight. Instead, she has to integrate it, make it her strength, and decide whether she wants to return to the world of the living or move on entirely. The result of this journey, Tingyun isn't Tingyun anymore. She is Fugue now, a new person born from the ashes of her past. Physically she's different, and for good reason. Ruin-Mei had to strengthen her body to handle the destruction that is now residing within her, and spiritually she's starting from scratch, rediscovering her memories while forging her own identity. It is in a way a moment which redefines what it means to come back to life, because Fugue isn't just a resurrection, she is a rebirth in itself. As we shift back to Sunday's story, the emotional stakes climb even higher. With Welt's cautious blessing, Sunday sets out to say goodbye to the one person who matters to him the most, his sister Robin. But, like everything in Sunday's life, this reunion is complicated. He approaches her in disguise not because he's trying to fool her, but because he knows it is too risky for her to be seen with him. Robin, however, isn't fooled for a single second. She knows exactly who she is talking to. And their conversation, it is equal parts heartwarming and heartbreaking. Robin's strength is put on full display here, while Sunday's guilt looms large. Robin shows him that she will be fine on her own, and there's a quiet moment where you realize that Sunday's release wasn't just about him. It was Robin's way of saying, I can stand on my own now, you don't have to protect me, do what you want to do, brother. However, as powerful as their reunion might be, Sunday's journey doesn't end here. There's one more piece of himself he needs to confront, a version of himself which he has been avoiding for years. After parting ways with Robin, we have one of the biggest plot twists for our entire story quest here. Wonweek, Sunday's friend who has been helping him in maintaining his disguise for the entire quest, is actually another version of Sunday. There's a really funny joke going on in the background here for our entire quest, and I don't want to spoiler it. Go ahead and play the quest on your own. This is the reason why I, for example, didn't talk about that specific scene with Tingyun and all of her different fragments and stuff like that on Penacony itself, right? I left it out on purpose. Go ahead and play the story, it is really, really good. Either way, Wonweek represents a version of Sunday that feels invincible. A man who's all confidence and no doubt. However, when the two finally clash, it is not just a physical fight. It is a battle for Sunday's very soul. The fight is brutal, emotional, and deeply symbolic. As Sunday confronts Wonweek, he's not just battling a reflection of himself, he's grappling with everything he wishes he could be, and everything he knows he can't be anymore. In the end, Sunday reabsorbs Wonweek and all the other fragments of him out there, and emerges as a man who knows exactly what he wants to do. He asks Welt to join the Astral Express and begins his journey of rediscovering himself. While Sunday is finding himself, Fugue's journey takes her to a different kind of reunion. One with Yukong, who could very well be regarded as Tingyun's mother. Yukong arrives on Penacony with a clear mission, to bring her daughter back to the Zhenju Lofu. But Fugue has other plans. Despite the joy of their reunion, Fugue is adamant about staying under the radar. Her resurrection isn't just a second chance, it is a strategic advantage in the ongoing fight against the Antimatter Legion and Fintilia. Yukong, understanding the stakes, agrees to keep her return a secret. The scene where they both embrace is quietly devastating. On one hand, it is a beautiful moment of connection between a mother and a daughter, and on the other, it is a reminder of everything Fugue has lost and the burden she now has to carry. As our patch draws to a close, we are left with a few tantalizing questions about future storylines. Sunday is officially part of the Astral Express crew now, setting the stage for his next chapter. And meanwhile, Fugue's transformation hints at a deeper cosmic stake, specifically the Zhenju Alliance's conflict between Yaoshi and Nanook, or not between, but with Yaoshi and Nanook. And let's not forget the lingering mystery of Fentilia, as we learn in this patch for certain now, because before it was always kinda hinted at but never 100% confirmed, the Tingyun we thought we knew was never Tingyun at all. It has always been Fentilia. She abducted Tingyun before our Astral Express crew arrived on the Lofu, and through what I can only imagine as severe torture, she was able to learn everything there is to know about Tingyun, even including the smallest details. This is what allowed her to possess Tingyun and act to such a perfect extent that nobody noticed a difference. As such, in a tragic way, we have encountered the real Tingyun before. And there you have it. Patch 2.7 in all its emotional and existential glory. At its heart, this patch is a story of two characters walking a parallel path. Sunday, a man who is haunted by his past but determined to find redemption, and Fugue, a soul reborn piecing together fragments of herself while forging a new identity. Sunday and Fugue's journey mirror each other in striking ways. Both are grappling with the weight of destruction, Sunday from choices he made and Fugue from powers forced upon her, and both are learning to accept who they are now, while also finding a new identity for themselves. It is this duality, I guess you could say this balance of pain and hope, that makes patch 2.7 so powerful. These aren't just stories of survival, they are stories of transformation, of learning that sometimes the only way forward is to confront the parts of yourself you'd rather leave behind. And if you thought the resurrection of Fugue was the end of our surprises here, think again. Patch 2.7 doesn't just wrap up Hanakoni's storyline, it sets up the stage for Amphorius. And on top of that, Ruin May's research and her resurrection of Tingyun directly hint at one of the biggest events in our Star Rail universe, the Swarm disaster. What is this disaster? How does it connect to the propagation? And most importantly, what role did Firefly play in all of this? These are questions we will explore in a future video, so if you're hungry for more lore, now's the time to hit that subscribe button. So, what's your take on patch 2.7? Did it live up to your expectations, or do you have your own theories about what is going to come next? Let me know in the comments below, I read every single one. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit the like button, it helps to bring this video to more fans of our Star Rail stories. Until next time, Trailblazers, stay safe, stay stellar, and remember the cosmos is always full of surprises. Bye bye.